Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome to another First Impressions video for Civilization 6, The New Frontier Pass. This is, again, the kind of sort of expansion that's coming up for Civilization 6. It's going to be spread out over the course of the next year. And the first pass that we get is going to be a combination of the Maya as well as Gran Colombia, which is what we're going to look at today. There's also going to be a few other bonuses in there that we don't know quite about, I think, yet. And hopefully we get a review of those here before they come out. Actually, I think it's going to come out next week, actually, at this point. So that's pretty awesome. But anyway, Gran Colombia is basically the name that historians give to the area that's currently it's part of Colombia, or it's what Colombia is now. But it also included parts of Ecuador, Panama, Venezuela, Peru, Brazil, I think Western Guyana or something like that, and so it's not actually historically it was called Colombia as well, but to distinguish the two, historians call that larger area, which is about twice the size of current Colombia, they call that Gran Colombia. So, if you ever saw any of the EU4 Let's Play that I did as Colombia, you will see that we attempted to get to the point where we could turn into Gran Colombia. I actually don't remember if we ever actually did it, but you can see games like that. That's around the time period that the Gran Colombia actually existed. So let's go ahead and get into the video.
Simón Bolívar leads Gran Colombia in Sid Meier's Civilization 6.
First off, I just want to start off here. I love this guy's outfit. I think he looks great. I think they did an excellent job of just really giving him that pop. You know, just you see him. The colors are bold. It looks a good look. I like it. I think they did a really good job.
In a series of stunning campaigns, Bolívar liberated much of South America from Spanish control, changing the future of the continent forever. Simón Bolívar's unique ability is Campaña Admirable. When entering a new era, Gran Colombia will automatically earn their unique unit, a great general called a Comandante General.
All right, so when they enter a new era, they automatically get their unique unit here. And I think I've watched the video a little bit earlier. They actually get two unique units. This is just one of them. Obviously, this one's not combat, really at all. So hopefully they have a second one. Is what you would be thinking right about now. But so this is one of their unique units, which is a custom general just for them. And they get one every single era, which is going to mean they're going to get a lot of generals. You add into the pool the normal generals that they'll be able to get, and they're going to be able to get a decent number of generals throughout the course of the game, which is really good because you're not going to need that many generals to actually run your war. You're going to want to be able to use some of your generals' bonuses to give you some extra boosts and things of that nature, which we're about to see.
These have a wide range of passive and active effects, like adding combat strength to nearby units, providing instant upgrades, granting additional trade routes, and more.
Yeah, so I mean, we're going to be able to take advantage of these guys' retire abilities pretty readily. I mean, this is something that we want to use as frequently as we possibly can because their retire abilities. Just again, you don't need that many generals in a normal, Civilization 6, scenario run through. You just maybe 2, 3, 4, maybe at most, depending on how many armies you split up. But to really have the most from these units here, you're going to want to use the retire abilities. Plus, presumably, if they come out every single era, then the ones from the previous eras are catered to that era. They only work for units. They only boost the strength of the units in that area. So you're going to want to retire them as you go anyway. I think this last retire here that we kind of froze on here, enemy units within 2 tiles lose 30 HP. That's an interesting ability. I mean, can you imagine saving this guy for a time when you're about to just pile into a big group of units, just immediately running him up to the front there and dropping 30 HP off of everybody? That's a pretty significant deal. And so there's going to be a lot of other retire abilities that these guys are going to have that you're going to be able to take advantage of. Obviously, they talked about the trade routes and things of that nature. So be ready to retire these guys pretty readily, as much as you possibly can.
Gran Colombia's unique unit is the Llanero. This musical warrior replaces the cavalry unit and becomes stronger with each adjacent llanero. If the unit is in range of a Comandante General that activates their special ability, they will regain all lost health.
All right, so we have the llanero here, which, again, it's a cavalry replacement. So it's going to be able to come in and be pretty effective, later in the game. You're going to be able to Obviously, having that adjacency bonus, that's going to be a pretty huge deal. You're going to want to have as many of these as you possibly can running around. I don't know if you just completely replace your frontline units with these guys or not. You may still want to have a few normal melee units in the mix, but being able to have these guys take advantage of that adjacency is going to be a pretty big deal. And then obviously having your general come in. I mean, you're going to want to retire your generals kind of as you go, as I mentioned before, but you might save them to time in with some of these Uneros so that you can get that extra, that free heal on them, on all of the Uneros. I mean, getting them boosted up fully to health doesn't matter what they started with. They can be at 10% health, 1 health, and they'll get boosted up to full. So I think that's a good 1-2 combo punch with the 2 unique units that Gran Colombia has.
Gran Colombia's unique ability is Ejército Patriota.
All right, so we're going to take a look at this the screen here, get a little bit of the feedback about some of their bonuses here. So we've already looked at the Campaña Admirable. My Spanish is very, very bad, so I apologize for that. Earn a Commandant General with the game when the game enters a new era. We already talked about that. We have this Ejército Patriota, something of that nature. +1 movement to all units. Promoting a unit does not end that unit's turn. The second part of that, promoting a unit does not end that unit's turn. It's nice. I mean, it's not game breaking, but it's very, very convenient. You'll be able to promote a unit right before you go into an attack and things like that. So that is a really cool extra add-on. But the +1 movement to all units is very significant. I mean, this is going to work for all your builders, all your settlers, all of your ships. Like literally every unit in the game is going to get +1 unit. And so as you can see early in the game with your builders trying to move around, your scouts trying to move around and scout out, and obviously your settlers wanting to get to certain places, that's going to really take advantage. You'll be able to take advantage of that quite a bit. But then you tack on to all of your military units. This guy is bred and built and made for war. I mean, if you didn't already get that from the fact that they get custom, custom generals here, you definitely know that now because getting +1 movement is really going to help their warring quite a bit. This guy's going to want to go out. He's going to want to conquer. He's going to take over other cities, and he's going to be able to use that extra movement to his benefit in a big, big way. We got talk about the Commandant General here. Nothing here special that we haven't already talked about. The Llanero, +4 combat strength for every adjacent Llanero. So if you have, I don't know, 4 or 5 of those adjacent to you, then you're going to get some pretty big combat strength boosts there. That's pretty significant. And then what else we got here? The Hacienda. We haven't talked about the Hacienda yet, but the Hacienda is a unique builder ability to construct a Hacienda unique to Gran Colombia, +2 gold, +1 production, and +1 housing. It also gets +1 food for every 2 adjacent plantations, increased to every plantation with replaceable parts. Okay. And then plantations and haciendas receive +1 production for every 2 adjacent haciendas. So haciendas get more production for haciendas, but did you also get the production for the plantations? So that's pretty awesome. And then it can only be built on plains, hills, grassland, and grassland hills. So no deserts and no tundras or anything like that, or snow, obviously. So this is the second civilization we've seen. We already saw Mayas get some benefits from plantations, the Mayan civilization. So getting more here from Gran Colombia for this plantations. So they've been very plantation heavy in this first pack here. But yeah, let's get back into the video.
This grants additional movement to all units. Promoting a unit does not end their turn. Gran Colombia's unique improvement is the Hacienda. It can be built on plains, hills, and grassland, and gives additional production, gold, and housing. Building adjacent plantations or haciendas gives even more food and production.
I really love the fact that these actually give the fences around them. Not only just the haciendas themselves, but also the plantations as well. You see that a lot in the Australian their unique improvement. So I think it's really cool to have that extra little effect to the map. I always love that. I mean, does it change the game in any way whatsoever? Obviously not. But I think it looks really cool to have that extra, larger effect of this is just a massive, plantation, setup here with multiple buildings and whatnot. It looks cool to me. But obviously, this is going to be a really, really good way to get some extra gold, extra production, extra food, extra housing, all of it. This covers all of the bases, checks all the boxes here, where the Mayans get a big, huge boost to science, and, as well as some decent boosts to the housing and food. These guys are going to get to be able to throw in the production as well, which is going to give them that new direction, which, where, again, Mayans are going to go for science. These guys are going to go for a little bit more combat. That production is going to be able to help them with that combat pretty readily. So that's pretty cool.
Gran Colombia benefits from its hard-working people. Since all their units receive a boost to movement, this helps them achieve their goals quickly. Settlers will race to grab contested land. Builders will get cities up to speed faster. And when combined with Comandante Generals, military units will blaze through enemy territory. Will you march majestically towards great prosperity? How will you lead Gran Colombia in Sid Meier's Civilization 6?
So yeah, I mean, this is going to be a really fun civilization to play as, I think. Obviously, the generals, truth be told, I play a lot on deity difficulty. I don't get a lot of generals, if I must be honest, so it's going to be nice to have that automatic general come in, because generals do make a big difference for the combat strength for the adjacent units and stuff like that. But then also adding on top of that, the retire abilities. I mean, getting an extra trade route, getting extra, heals, getting extra, other abilities. Maybe there's probably some amenities thrown in there somewhere, things like that. So the generals are going to be able to give you some extra bonuses along the way, as well as giving you that combat strength boost as well. So that is pretty cool. I like that a lot. But I do think the most game-changing ability that that Gran Colombia has here is that +1 movement for all units. You cannot underestimate how much movement makes a difference. I mean, that is the one static thing on any game map, is the size of the map. So getting +1 movement gives you an advantage to be able to move around better and more efficiently than any of your opponents. Plus the fact that their unique unit is a cavalry replacement, it's already going to have high movement. Add on top of that +1 movement, you're going to be able to move around a lot and do a lot of good combat here. Good. The wars are going to be so efficient, so easy to run, especially if you add in some of the other civic boosts. They also give you +1 movement. The one that gives you +1 movement when you start in your own territory and things of that nature. So they're going to be very, very efficient at war. I think this is going to be a very strong, combat type of civilization. Are they going to be one of the best domination civilizations in the game now? I don't know, maybe not. I mean, there's some really good domination civilizations from the last expansion, but these guys are going to be able to hold their own for sure. They're going to be able to come in there and be able to do a lot of good damage to everything. I mean, you take the combination of the bonus increased combat strength for their cavalry units, as well as the increased combat strength from having a general nearby. If the general decides to jump in there, if you get an extra general that can jump in there and lower the health of all the units you're about to face, that's going to increase the differential of the combat strengths even more. These guys are going to be able to really go to town. It's going to be a lot of fun to play as. I don't know that they have the same restrictions on city placement as Mayans. I mean, nobody's going to have quite the same restriction on city placement as Maya does, because they have to have their capital in the middle, as we discussed last time. But these guys are going to be able to be a little bit more flexible. They still want to be near grass. They still want to be near a plain, so they can drop down their haciendas. Obviously, they're going to want plantations. I kind of expect there's going to be some extra resources. They're going to give us some extra plantations, since we have 2 civilizations here that need plantations. But there's already a lot of plantation type, tile improvement locations in the game already. So there's going to be a lot of places for plantations, and then obviously these guys are going to take advantage of those. So I think this is good. I like this civilization a lot. I thought I was going to play the Mayans first. I don't know. I may have to flip a coin now, because I actually like both of these civilizations. I'm definitely going to want to try out both of these civilizations when they come out here this next week, or at least this next week as of the time of this recording. So, but yeah, please let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know if you like this civilization, what you think its strengths are, what you think its weaknesses are. Do you like this civilization better than Mayas? Which one are you planning on playing first? Just, let me know what you guys think. Obviously, please let me know as well if you like this video or dislike it, so I know whether or not to make more of these. But I do appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye.